History is full of stories we think we understand, but every now and then, the timeline glitches. Events occur that are unexplainable. Even the brightest minds are left in disbelief. Here are real, verified historical events that sound like pure fiction. 1. The Toxic Woman of Riverside. On the evening of February 19, 1994, an ambulance rushed 31-year-old Gloria Ramirez to the emergency room in Riverside, California. She was suffering from severe complications related to late-stage cancer. Her heart rate was skyrocketing and her blood pressure was crashing. The medical team acted fast, injecting her with sedatives and using a defibrillator to stabilize her heart. But when a nurse inserted a syringe to draw her blood, the room took a terrifying turn. The nurse noticed a strange ammonia-like chemical smell coming from the syringe. Another doctor looked closely at the blood sample and saw unusual, white crystal-like particles floating inside it. Seconds later, chaos broke out. The nurse who drew the blood fainted. Moments later, a medical resident collapsed on the floor, unable to move her arms or legs. One by one, medical staff began hyperventilating, vomiting, and losing consciousness. The ER was immediately evacuated into the parking lot. In total, 23 hospital workers fell mysteriously ill, and 5 had to be admitted for severe toxicity. Gloria Ramirez tragically passed away that night, but to this day, no one knows with complete certainty what filled that room. The leading theory suggests a rare combination of medications turned inside her body into toxic gas, but the true nature of the toxic woman remains one of medical history's deepest mysteries. 2. The night Niagara Falls ran dry. Imagine living near Niagara Falls in the 19th century. Day and night, the roar of millions of gallons of water crashing over the cliff is a constant, thunderous soundtrack to your life. Then came the night of March 29, 1848. At around midnight, residents in the nearby town noticed something horrifyingly wrong. The deafening roar had vanished, replaced by a dead, eerie silence over the land. People ran out of their homes in the dark, fearing an apocalypse or a divine curse. But when the sun rose the next morning, the scene was even harder to process. Niagara Falls had completely stopped. The riverbed was bone dry. Where millions of tons of rushing water normally roared, there were only puddles, exposed boulders, and stranded fish. People actually walked out onto the dry riverbed, strolling beneath the massive cliffs where water used to fall, a place where standing was previously impossible. A massive gale wind on Lake Erie had broken off huge ice sheets, jamming them tightly at the mouth of the Niagara River. This formed an accidental, gigantic ice dam that completely blocked the river's water supply. For 30 agonizing hours, Niagara Falls was frozen in time, completely dry, until the wind shifted, the ice broke, and the roar returned. It was the first and only time in recorded history that Niagara Falls naturally ran completely dry. 3. The Flannan Isles Lighthouse Disappearance. In December 1900, a small supply ship sailed toward the remote Flannan Isles Lighthouse off the coast of Scotland. The ship's job was simple: relieve one of the 3 lighthouse keepers and drop off fresh supplies. As the ship approached the island, the captain noticed something strange. The lighthouse lamp wasn't lit, no flag was flying, and no one came down to the dock to meet them. When the crew stepped ashore and broke open the locked door of the lighthouse, they walked into a ghost story. Inside, the table had half-eaten food sitting on it. A chair was knocked over on its side. The kitchen clock had stopped, but there was no sign of the 3 keepers: Thomas Marshall, James Ducat, and Donald MacArthur. They had vanished into thin air. The strangest part was the lighthouse logbook. The last entries, written days earlier, described a violent, terrifying storm that shook the keepers to their core. Yet weather reports from surrounding islands confirmed that the weather had been completely calm during those exact days. No bodies were ever recovered from the island. Whether they were swept away by a sudden rogue wave or fell victim to something far stranger, the mystery of the Flannan Isles remains unsolved. 4. The Oak Island Money Pit Trap. In 1795, a teenager named Daniel McGinnis was exploring Oak Island off the coast of Nova Scotia when he stumbled upon a strange sight: a sunken patch of ground directly beneath a massive oak tree. Curious, he and his friends began to dig. 10 feet down, they hit a solid layer of wooden plank. They removed them and kept digging. At 20 feet, another wooden platform. At 30 feet, another. They realized they weren't digging a hole. They were inside an engineered, man-made shaft. Over the next 2 centuries, treasure hunters, engineers, and even future U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt spent millions trying to reach the bottom of what came to be known as the Money Pit. At 90 feet down, diggers found a mysterious stone engraved with cryptic symbols. Shortly after, the pit suddenly flooded with seawater. Whoever built the Money Pit had created complex underground flood tunnels linked to the ocean. Every time diggers got close, the booby traps triggered, drowning the shaft in water. To this day, despite modern drilling rigs, sonar, and excavators, no one knows who built this complex trap or what priceless treasure lies buried at the bottom. 5. The Devil's Footprints of Devon. On the freezing morning of February 9, 1855, the people of Devon, England, woke up to fresh snowfall and a terrifying discovery. Stretched across the countryside for over 100 miles was a continuous line of small, hoof-like footprints stamped deep into the snow. But these weren't normal animal tracks. The prints moved in a perfectly straight line, one single foot in front of the other. Even more terrifying was where the tracks went. The prints didn't stop for obstacles. They went over 14-foot-high walls, climbed across the roofs of houses, crossed frozen rivers, and even went through narrow 4-inch drainage pipes without missing a single step. The entire region was gripped by panic. Local churches claimed the prints were left by Satan himself, walking across the earth to search for sinners. Scientists tried to explain it as roaming badgers, mice, or weather anomalies, but no animal could walk across rooftops and through pipes in a single, unbroken 100-mile straight line. To this day, the true origin of the devil's footprints remains an unanswered mystery. Which of these mysteries shocked you the most? Let me know in the comments below. Hit that like button and subscribe for more untold history.